Hi, my name is Deepthi and I'm Kuhu's mom. Today I'm going to show you how to drape a sari. I'll be doing that on Kuhu, and the sari that I have chosen is a bandage sari or a bandhani sari. So I'm going to talk in this video about the bandhani sari first, and then we'll go ahead and do the draping. So in every Indian household, it was a very easy thing to do because we had two kinds of dyes. One was which we called Neil, which was the indigo dye, and we used it in laundry for brightening the white shirts. Every household had it. Then the other thing that we had was turmeric, which is yellow in color and used in cooking. So we had the blue color that we would make a solution of, and the yellow color, and then we would tie threads, some random threads around a white piece of cloth and dip it in those solutions and then dry them, and lo, there was a pattern. And we thought we had created a Picasso. Little did we know that this art was being perfected over the centuries in very intricate designs. And this art of tie and dye is called bandhani or bandage. Bandhana in Indian language and Hindi, it means to tie or to bind. And that is what we do when we do bandhani. Bandhani is an art that is practiced. It's all hand done. It is practiced in Rajasthan and Gujarat. I'm going to talk about the bandhani in Rajasthan. So the process of bandhani is actually tie and dye only, but it involves finding the piece of cloth that you want, whatever material you want, making 4 folds of it, and on the top one, you stencil a pattern on it. Those pattern or dots decide what you are going to do with the colors also. So this is how you do it. This was a pattern, say this is a pattern, and you pluck it with your fingernail. Pluck it. On this part, you tie the thread. Then you go on to the next one, tie a thread. Then you go on to the third one, tie a thread. Fourth, and you go on and on. One of these could be having thousands of these threads tied, thousands of dots. And then you dip it in or dye it in whatever colors you want and dry it. After it dries up, all the threads, remember, are still tied together. Then you stretch it out. And when we go to buy these bandhani saris or dupattas or any of the material, they are sold as it is, all tied in a knot and still with the threads. So when you want to see the pattern or the colors, you open it up. And when you stretch it out, all the threads flow out. I just love seeing that. And then you see how beautiful the pattern has emerged. Look at this one. Look at the patterns. This is a flower. Look at this, the swirls, the wave. The paisley motif is very common in Indian prints, and I love it when it is at the border. And look at the various colors used here. Look at this one. This is a simple diamond-shaped pattern, but how beautiful it looks. It has a border too, and that too is with the paisley motif and some kind of DNA chains. Look at the other patterns here. This is the simplest one with just dots. And when you are looking at the pattern, just imagine how long it would have taken a person to tie those threads around each one of these diamond-shaped dots that you see over here. This, again, the pattern, it's more or less similar to the first one we saw. This is different. And this is a really beautiful one. It has edges on both sides. It's like a booty, you know, the pattern goes like a booty, phool patti and booty pattern. This is the flower, and these swirls around it are like the booties. On the sides are again heart-shaped things and flowers. Beautiful. So, Kuhu, Rajasthan is known for the vibrancy of its colors. People wear beautiful colors over there, bright. This is what bandage or bandhani is all about. I want to show you some of the combinations that we have here. Look at the first one. It's kind of orangish with green. Such a bright color. Look at the other one. Maroon, the red, and with yellow, green, and purple. Beautiful, isn't it? Blue, that's always such a cool color. Yellow and red. Look at the next one. Light blue and dark blue combination. But that looks lovely. Kuhu, you remember you had this lehenga and you wore it as a kid? Now this is an unusual take of the modern times. This is orange and pink. But these colors, so they're changing actually with the times. And the last one is again green and a very unusual brown. And with dotted with orange in between. I just love that one. And such intricate work over there. So this is the bandage sari I chose for Kuhu. Look at the sari, the colors. Let me tell you quickly about the parts of a sari. These are the borders of the sari. When we go to buy one, we have to look at the border, whether we like the design. And I love the gray of it. Look at the orange color, orange band here and the red. Then we move along the sari, all along it, and we reach the other end of the sari. The other end of the sari is called a pallu. And this is the pallu that is draped over our shoulder. Hi, so you see Kuhu is already wearing a blouse that is matching the sari and a petticoat. Make sure that the petticoat matches the color of the sari because this sari is see-through. So you have to make sure that the color matches the main color of the sari. All right, so from the center of the sari,
we're going to wrap it around us.
Yeah, we're going to wrap it around us. And then, you have to make sure. The most important thing is you have to wear your heels before you start tying the sari.
Yeah, I got in trouble for not wearing my heels before this video started.
Yes, because you adjust the height. When you are tucking it in, you have to make sure that the petticoat doesn't show. And you tuck it in deep and tight.
Mom, does this take a long time to put on a sari?
It doesn't. To me, it doesn't. But some people do find it difficult. I have been doing it for 30 years, going to work in a sari and coming back.
Do you ever wear this sari for work?
No. For me, this was a festive color. And into office, I only used to wear silks and cotton. Cotton in summer and silks in winter.
What is material of this sari then?
This is georgette. This is a blend. It's a kind of weaving that is done. Very light georgette.
Is there anything special about cotton and silk saris that you wore them more for work?
I love them. Cotton drapes so well, and it, we starch cotton when we wear it. So it fluffs around you.
Just like that yellow sari that I wore in the last video.
Yes, it's so crisp. Silk is the other way around. It's so soft and it takes to the contours of your body. And it's warm. So we used to wear it in winters. Okay, now once I've draped it one way, I go to the end of the pallu. And then we have to make pleats here. Pleats are just folds.
Is there a particular way to make folds?
You can make it any way. Two people can hold it, one person. I saw my mother doing it this way, and I do it this way. So these are the folds. If you see, these are the folds. And then I take it around. All around. And I drape it on
My left shoulder.
on your left shoulder. That's right.
Why is it your left shoulder, not your right shoulder?
Why is it your left shoulder? That's the way it goes.
So I could wear a sari on my right shoulder.
Oops. So once we drape the pallu, you have to decide the length of the pallu, because it usually depends on how long the pallu is, and it should be longer than your arm length. Now we are left with, what is your arm? We are left with this part of the sari. That will be folded in pleats in the front. I have to tuck in the rest of the sari well. Now this is where we need safety pins. So what we do is,
That's the point. I need someone else to help me.
you will get used to it. It just requires practice. So when we come to again to the center of it, I actually pick it up from the end of the border and tuck it in towards the center.
Is this
Fully.
material easy to pin?
This material is not easy to pin because it's so flimsy.
That's
You
hard
can
to...
pierce it, yeah. And the safety pins are not always very good. And it's not easy to put it on someone else. Okay, there. I've pinned it up. And now we are left with this part of the sari, which is what we have to pleat.
Does this part of a sari have a name?
No, it's just the part of the sari. All right. So we have to pleat this sari.
Do you know how many pleats you're going to make, or does that depend on how the adjustment and everything else?
It depends on the length of the sari. This is a good amount of sari, and that's why saris are so long. Because the more the pleats, the better the fall is.
Okay.
So you just have to make sure that the first pleat is longer than the other pleats.
Do you know how many pleats you're going to do for this one?
I do not know. Let's see how many come. 4, 5, 6, 7, 8.
9, 10.
And we are left with one more.
11?
Okay. No, let's see now. 1, 2, 3, 4, 5, 6 actually. We were counting them twice. So look at the pleats. This is the fall of the sari. And now, can you hold this please? Now I'm going to pin this up. Because what happens if you don't pin it up is, if you are walking, you can trip on this and the whole thing will fall out.
Oh no.
Yeah. So we make sure it is pinned up.
And you don't pin it on the top, is noticing.
I don't pin it on the top. I pin it somewhere in the middle. All right. So the fall is there. Yeah, and there we tuck it in the center. No, your sari is done.
Okay. Is there any particular way you wear the pallu?
Yes. The last part is adjusting the pallu. Now, when we go to work, we just make sure that nothing falls down. So we tuck it in very nicely, the pallu.
Can I wear it like this too?
Yes. You know, if you were going to a function or to a marriage, this is the way we wear the sari then. So it falls like this and your pallu shows. Can you turn around? Yeah. But if you are going to work, as I did most of the time,
Then you would.
I have to pin it up because it's difficult to manage it on your shoulder and you don't want it falling down. Okay, let me pin it up.
You're adjusting it again.
Yeah, I'm adjusting it again because I should have pleated it actually, but this is fine. And then we pin it up to the blouse at the back. Okay, here.
Here. Do you want me to do the kicking thing you always ask me to do?
Oh yeah, just stretch your legs, both sides. So for me, I think it makes it easier. Normally I do it before I pin it up. Is it easy to walk?
Yeah.
Can you turn around? Yay! It's easy. Look at this. Look at the fall. Let me look at it too. Yes, perfect.